Regular GoRV readers and viewers might recognise this Caravan. This is a classic Don. We think it's maybe about 1955, potentially as late as 1962, but it's owned by Andrew Phillips of the RV Repair Centre in Bayswater, North Victoria. Now, Andrew is an avid caravan repairer and restorer. In fact, he's restored more caravans than I've had hot dinners. Now, when Andrew first bought this caravan, I was, well, wondering what he was getting himself into. It was in that bad a condition, but looking at it now, I'd say it is well and truly on its way to getting back on the roads. Now, in our first video on this caravan, when Andrew first bought it, the first thing I noticed, obviously, was the fact that this wall here had almost caved in. It was effectively being held together by duct tape. There was so much rot there. All that has been cut out and expertly replaced. There's not a mark on it. It's looking fantastic. Now, originally, this caravan did have some wheel spats, but they were all rotted out as well. So Andrew's going to make up some new ones. Now, the thing about Andrew Phillips and the way he restores caravans, he likes to get it as close to original factory condition as possible, and that often requires hours and hours of tedious research, but this is a guy who does things properly. Now, I'm not sure exactly what he's going to be doing with these wheels. I wouldn't be surprised if he cleaned them up and went with the originals. I mean, I tell you what, the condition of this wall as compared to how it was when Andrew first got this caravan delivered here, it's night and day. This looks like it's just rolled out of the factory. Now, as I mentioned, Andrew wants to make sure that everything about this caravan, is as original as possible once it's restored. In fact, that's a philosophy that he, applies to all the caravan restorations that he makes. However, there was some debate about what the original color of this caravan was. However, after pulling off some external trim, he was able to see what he believes to be the original color, and that's over here. So here we have some of the external trim that he pulled off. I mean, it's in pretty ordinary condition, but just here and there, you can make out that original yellow color. And here's a bit of rotten old, piece of wall that he pulled off, again, with that same yellow color, which he had to have specially color matched. And this really goes to show what the condition of the caravan was like when he first got it. Just look at all that rot. This will just break. And how good's this? This is the original number plate for the caravan. As Andrew said, it's going back to the G's. Goes to show just how old this vehicle actually is. And while I'm over here, we've got here the original windows, aluminium frames. All the glass is original, there's no cracks. So because these are all in pretty good condition, Andrew's just going to give them a tidy up and screw them directly back into the caravan when he's ready. And actually, they're quite weighty. I don't reckon they make windows like this anymore. And look at this. This is the original door, all painted up nicely and really does have a bit of weight to it. Now, when it comes to the interior, again, there was some debate about what the original color was. And that's probably to be expected because, these are old vans and there's just not much reference material around. So often Andrew finds himself looking at old ads from old caravan magazines and that sort of thing. However, when Andrew removed some of the old light fixtures, he did see this sort of pale green color under the light fixture, and that told him that this is probably what the original color was. In fact, he's pretty sure of it. And he's even keeping all the original 12-volt wiring. Now, whoever owned this caravan previously had replaced the original icebox with a refrigerator. However, Andrew, who, as we know, wants to keep things as original as possible, he's ripped that old refrigerator out and he's going to put an icebox back in its place. In fact, this power point right here, we reckon isn't original. It was probably fitted there by the previous owner to power the fridge. Now, clearly this old Don Caravan, it's a work in progress, but I'm telling you, if you had seen what this caravan looked like when it first rolled in here to the RV Repair Centre to what it is now, you would agree that Andrew is doing a darn good job, and I cannot wait to see what it looks like when it's finished, because the before and after pictures are going to be almost too good to be true. I just know it. And you know how I said earlier that Andrew is an avid caravan restorer? If this doesn't prove it, nothing will, because over here we have a Franklin from about 1976 that Andrew has bought with the intention of bringing it back to factory condition. And I wish him well, because it looks like it's seen better days. Let's have a quick look. These old caravans, I love the shape. And look, we've even got a club lounge here and another lounge, a big lounge in the front of the caravan. Check out that old school fridge, that old school oven. Tell you what, they don't make caravans like this nowadays. Some people might say that's a good thing, but I quite like this old school look. So we've actually got two doors, one at the front and one here leading to what would be the rear bedroom. Let's just sneak around the corner here. The back of this old Franklin is fully open, and Andrew pointed out to me earlier that he's already found the material to replace the old wall lining. And as we can see, he's gotten it pretty darn close. That is an excellent match for the original. Now, this old Franklin, it's about 27 feet in length. I mean, it's an absolute beast, and Andrew reckons it only weighs about 1,600 kilos. Look at this old school front profile. But the framing is actually in pretty good condition. Well, here at least it is. I'm not sure how it is on the walls, on the sides. Not bad for a van that's 40 odd years old. Now, I told you that Andrew Phillips was an avid restorer. It doesn't just extend to caravans and classic vehicles, because just as we were wrapping up, Andrew walks in to show us his latest restoration project, and this looks like a Happy Days diner.
60s diner.
A 60s diner.
With all the Happy Days gear.
That looks amazing.
An old lolly machine I bought in Reno.
Yeah.
Jukebox.
And you said that was Frosty Boy?
Frosty Boy, yeah, go back here to Frosty Boy.
That's amazing. Is this just at your house?
At the house, yeah.
Wow. Can you come around and make that for me?
You can come and visit it.
Okay, thank you, I'll take you up on that. I'm just picturing the Fonz walking in.
A pinball machine.
There's even a pinball machine. So do you ever sleep? Or do you just restore and
I
make?
sleep about 3 hours a day, and that's about it.